Army, Jikook lovers all around the world. Are you ready to feel an explosion of unexpected emotions? Because today is not an ordinary day. This is the day when our collective dream becomes a reality. Not just because BTS is finally live together again after a long hiatus, but because Jimin and Jungkook showed a side of their relationship that we've only been able to guess from afar until now. There was touch. There was laughter. There was intimacy too natural to be called fan service. This isn't a throwback. This isn't an edit. This is a real moment, and you're about to witness it with your own eyes. Army, Jikook lovers all over the world. The moment we've been dreaming of is finally here. After such a long time, after months of surviving on memories, throwback videos, and fleeting glimpses from the past, today we were given something so much more real. All 7 BTS members appeared live together on Weverse. Yes, for the first time since their military hiatus that kept them apart for nearly 2 years, they're back. Complete. One family. But hold on, that's just the surface of today's magic. For many, this was about BTS being reunited, about a family that's irreplaceable. But for us, the Jikook enthusiasts, it's more than just a reunion. This is a new episode in their story, one that has quietly continued, alive even as time and distance tried to separate it. Today, the world seemed to pause for a moment, making space for something warm and genuine, the unseen connection between Jimin and Jungkook. From the very first second of the live broadcast, our eyes, almost involuntarily, locked onto the two figures who somehow always find their way to each other, Jungkook and Jimin. Somehow, even among the chaos and excitement of the reunion, they ended up sitting side by side. And when Jimin rested his arm on Jungkook's thigh, that wasn't just coincidence. That was comfort. That was body language saying, "I'm home." Jungkook didn't just allow it. He looked relaxed, like it was the most natural thing in the world. As if it were part of their routine. As if that arm belonged to Jungkook, and his thigh was Jimin's natural place of rest. Then came the moment that melted our hearts, when Jungkook gently massaged Jimin's shoulder. No hesitation, no asking, just an automatic action from someone who knows the other's body so well. That touch wasn't random. It was muscle memory. It was habit. And habits don't form overnight. They come from long-standing closeness. If you listen to their laughter today, you'd know just how unique the sound of Jikook's laughter is. So, high-pitched, a little shy. But when one laughs, the other always follows. There was a moment in the live when they both laughed at something small, something we didn't even quite understand, but they looked at each other, exchanged smiles, and the world around them seemed to disappear. As if they were in their own little universe. And we were allowed a brief glimpse into it. What made today's live so emotional was the context. They had just completed their military service. A tough phase, physically and emotionally. But seeing them back, together, and happy, felt like watching the sun rise after a long, dark night. And in the midst of all that, the bond between Jungkook and Jimin didn't just survive. It seemed deeper than ever. Jimin looked calmer. Jungkook more expressive. And together, they looked like two people who had weathered a storm and now embraced each other again with deep gratitude. And let's take a minute to talk about Jungkook. Jungkook. The Jungkook who appeared today not just as the magne, not just as a singer or performer, but as someone who exudes a mature aura and undeniable sensuality. His eyes were confident. His body language was fluid. And the new tattoo on his right arm, clearly visible as he leaned back, wasn't just aesthetic. It was a statement that he has grown, that he's comfortable with who he is, and maybe that he's also braver now in expressing his feelings, especially when it comes to the person next to him. Today's Jungkook is someone who knows what he wants. And if the way he kept glancing at Jimin, letting himself be touched over and over again, or even just sitting close enough that their knees touched, if all that means something, then it was all a choice. Not coincidence. Meanwhile, Jimin was just as he always is, walking empathy. He didn't just sit there flashing his sweet smile. He read the room. He knew when to joke, when to gaze deeply, and when to offer those small touches that mean more than 1,000 words. There was a moment when Jimin looked at Jungkook as he was explaining something. His gaze was full of pride, with a hint of admiration, and, yes, Jimin, we saw. We all saw. You've never been able to hide the way you look at him. Not in front of the camera, and certainly not from us. Don't get us wrong, this live was about BTS. Our family. They talked about their new album, their plans, and how much they missed ARMY. But in between those conversations, between the laughs and stories, were little details that only we, the silent observers of love, could catch. Like how Jimin touched Jungkook's arm while laughing. Like how Jungkook glanced at Jimin when someone else was speaking. Like the little sighs they both gave when they almost leaned into each other, but chose to just stay close instead. That wasn't fan service. That was body language. That was chemistry that can't be faked. If today's live is a sign of what's to come, then we're not just going to see a stronger BTS, but also deeper, more honest relationships between the members. And for Jikook, maybe this is the start of a new chapter. A chapter where they no longer have to hide their comfort with each other. A chapter where we all can clearly see that love comes in many forms, and whatever form their bond takes, it's real. It's sincere. And it's beautiful. To Jikook stands around the world. We're not delusional. We're just observant. We understand the shades of meaningful interactions, and today, we saw the full spectrum of that connection. So get ready, friends. A new era of BTS has begun. And if today's Jikook chemistry is a preview of what's coming, then we're about to witness a love story greater than ever before. A story of two people who keep finding each other, no matter the time or distance. One touch, one laugh, one tiny world called Jikook. When two stars pull on each other, they'll keep moving toward one another, no matter what gravity tries to tear them apart. That's who Jimin and Jungkook were today. And all we can do is fall in love all over again. We've waited so long. We've survived on tiny clues, scattered moments, and hope. But today we were given a real gift. Jikook, present, tangible, alive, right in front of us. So, if you felt what we felt, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Because this is where we'll keep exploring, piecing together, and celebrating every little second of their unsaid but undeniable story. And remember, in the chaos of the world, there's always a little universe that belongs only to the two of them, and to those of us who are observant enough to see it.